Greetings, Earth enthusiasts. If you ever wondered about the incredible perspectives our planet has to offer from high above, you're in the right place. I am Dr. Clive Coetzee, and I'm thrilled to be your guide on this captivating journey into the world of remote sensing. Welcome. And please remember to like, subscribe to, and share this video. Thank you.
So up to now, we've been working with the Terra Snow Cover data product. And what we've been trying to do with the previous number of video tutorials is to generate terrain-based characteristics and climate-based characteristics relevant to snow cover. So we're looking for maximum temperature, minimum temperature, rain, wind, terrain, slope, elevation, aspect, hillside, etc., etc. So we're trying to create a picture, so to speak, about locations that had some form of snow cover for my given period, as identified through the Earth engine. Okay, so that's what we've been up to now. So we've been visualizing snow cover and visualizing all these other things. But what I want to do in this particular video tutorial is to look at daytime images, and specifically I'm going to look at Sentinel. And the reason I'm looking at Sentinel is because it's got such a high resolution compared to Landsat. So let's look at Sentinel and see whether our images thus far corresponds to what the daytime images as per Sentinel is suggesting in terms of snow cover and. Okay, so this is what we're going to do in this particular video tutorial. Look at Sentinel and see whether, there's a high degree of correlation or relationship between what we've done so far and, let's call it, reality. If we assume Sentinel is reality, which most probably is. Okay, so let's continue. So we've got our script. We've got our snow cover tutorial or project that we've saved in our scripts, and there it sits. And so we're working with this particular script. Remember, initially we load our snow cover images, and the time period that I've selected here is from personal knowledge, because I stay not far from these mountains where it's snow. So I can, I know there was snow that particular period because I could see it visually. So I know there was snow on those mountains. I could visually see it, and that's why I know this period. And also remember, we stay in winter rainfall, so the likelihood of snow in the mountains is most probably in the winter months, not going to be in summer months. So that's why I've selected those months. We can refine those months, and that's up to you. So, up to here, we've looked at the digital elevation model, and we derive certain characteristics of the digital elevation model: aspect, slope, terrain, etc., etc. And then we specifically looked at our climate data product, Terra climate data product, and we looked at minimum temperature, maximum temperatures, etc., etc. But as I said, and what we basically have, let me just unselect these ones. When we created our snow cover image, this one is it. We then played around with the visualization parameters quite a bit to get an optimum, and I'm still not happy with this, but it's beggars can't be choosers, as they say. So let's stick with this for now. And so what we've got here is, according to the Terra snow cover data product, locations that had snow, some form of snow cover for that specific period. Specifically these periods here with the red and yellow and white. Okay, so let's zoom into, let's say, this particular area here. Okay, so let's go to the satellite view. And there's our satellite image, and it looks like this period here had some significant snow cover for that 21 July till 21 August period. Although I think August is a bit late, but anyway, let's leave it there. Because remember, this is some. Okay, so let's look at the inspector. Let's click on white. Remember, white would be the highest snow cover. So let's look at that. You can see 401. So that's quite a significant amount of snow cover. You can see the elevation is very, very high. I mean, that's 2,000 meters above sea level, Slope is quite steep. Aspect is 177, so that is roughly southwesterly facing. And hillside, it's quite a lot of dark. It's not, it doesn't get a lot of sun. So all these characteristics, and then let's have a look at minimum temperature, 1.75. By the way, I did bring in the scaling factor. Remember in the previous video, I talked about the scaling factor that we have to bring it in. Just for your information, I brought the scaling factor in. So that is, don't have to adjust it now by, it's already adjusted. So that's 1.7. So that's almost zero temperature minus. So all these characteristics is favorable for high snow, and indeed it is. So 10 out of 10 so far. Okay, and that's what we've wanted to do so far, is to identify these characteristics. If a location has these characteristics, it most probably will have some form of snow cover. That's what we want to get to. Okay, so let's go and see if we can visually confirm that there is snow. All our indicators are that there's snow. The modus, the Terra snow cover data product says there's snow, quite a bit of snow. Our terrain characteristics, digital elevation characteristics suggest there should be snow, and our climatic factor says there's snow. So let's go and have a look. So what we have to do, let's make it bigger. We have to, and as I said, I'm specifically looking at Sentinel, and the reason for that is it's because it's got a very high resolution. I think 10 meters, 10 square meters. Whereas modus is I think about what's it, modus is 30. I speak under correction, but it's much higher. So first of all, I need to add the cloud. To say I don't want any cloud cover, or I want very, very little cloud cover. Okay, so that's the code for taking the clouds away, so to speak, in brackets. Okay, so I'm telling you I want only images which have very little cloud. Here I've got 20% cloud cover, but I can actually decrease it to, let's go to 10%. Okay, so this two functions here basically says I want images with as little as possible cloud cover. Give me those images with have ideally no cloud cover as per here, but I'm happy to go up to 10% cloud cover. Okay, and I align my dates, so that's exactly the same dates as my, you can see there, my snow cover, Terra snow cover product, and my climate product. Okay, remember my digital elevation model is not the same period, but it's a singular image, and most probably mountains are mountains. It doesn't really change that often, so we can assume that they're all aligned in terms of its data frame, its data period. Okay, and then I'm using a median, and we showed in several of the previous video tutorials that median is the better option to go in terms of the reducer of the images. Remember, it's an image collection. I think Sentinel is every 16 days or something to that effect. So within that period, if we assume no clouds, all those images are no clouds, there would be, what's it, 4 images. So it reduces those 4 by the medium to a single image. I've got my minimum and maximum values. I've got my bands, which is the true color band, 4, 3, and 2, which is red, green, and blue. And then I add the layer. Okay, remember to save, and I've already run this, but on 20%, we'll run it again on 10%. So let's quickly have a look and see whether there is a symphony of images. Let's have a look and see if these things talk to one another. Let's click on that one. Okay, so it's going to take a bit of time. And what do we have here? What do we have here? There's snow. There is snow. And they are lined. You can see there's the snow there, there's some snow there, there's snow there, there's snow. And you can see the snow is on the southwesterly side. You can see there clearly the snow is on the southwesterly side. South side, remember south is at the bottom, this is west. West is on the left hand side, south is on the bottom, north is on the top, and east on this side. It looks fairly steep. We can go in if we want to. And you can see the hillside, etc., etc. You can see the hillside. And so you can correlate it to, you can see there's the dark side there, the hillside there. Okay, so there's snow. Voila. Fascinating, interesting. Okay, let's quickly go and look at another place where, okay, so that was, let's have a look and see where, let's go, there we go. Let's have a look and see there. There's some snow there. Let's go in there and see what this image, there we go, snow. Okay, and that's the beauty of Sentinel is the high resolution, and that's with Landsat we most probably would be very blurry by now because of the high resolution. There's definitely snow, but not as much as previously. Let's click on that one. Remember that other one was 400 and something. There we go, 401. Let's click on that one there. Let's see what that is. 350. That's 350 there. Let's see, there's some snow there. Let's have a look and see. Yep, there's some snow there, the red. It indicates some snow around this area as well. You can see there's some reds and pinks there. Interesting. Okay, so that's quite neat in that the stars align, so to speak, loosely speaking. You can see there's all the white areas that have snow. Okay, and we can overlay that with our snow image. You can see that there's some snow indicated there, there's some snow indicated there, and voila, you can see that. And you can see it's most probably on the peaks, it's quite high, and you'll see, let's go and have a look and see, go further, you'll see it's on the southwestern side, except this area here, but you can clearly see it's on the southwestern, fairly steep area. Let's click on that specific area there. Some snow there, not much, but you can see the elevation, you can see the slope aspect, hillside. So it seems like the stars are aligning. It suggests that there's snow. Now I don't want to go to, remember we had that one period here, this area here. If we change the period to 2023, remember our initial period was, if our initial period was 2023, same months, but last year. And the reason why we changed it to 2021, if you can remember, was because our data product, our climatic product, this one here, only is up to 2022. So that's why we have to move to 2021. But now let's ignore this for now, the data product, after the Terra Climate product, the climatic product. Let's ignore this and only focus on 2023, because remember we had that massive stretch of snow there. So let's quickly just do that and have a look and see what happens now. So I'm gonna delete all these other ones for now and only look at the snow cover and the Sentinel image. Okay, so remember this area here, we had, there we go, you can see we had this, let's make it bigger. We had this particular area here. Let's put, yeah, remember we had this area here. We had significant snow. Let's have a look. Oh, you can see there. Now this is not clouds, ne? Because we have modified our images for cloud. We have set to Earth Engine. We don't want clouds. So this is not clouds. This is snow. And you can see that this is snow cover index all around that ridge, that mountain range. And if we overlay it with the daytime images, you can definitely see it aligns perfect. You can see there. So if we click on that image there, 327. So that's quite a lot. Let's quickly go out a little bit. And remember, so this is the area here. We didn't have snow there in 2021, or very little. This corresponds to the same, I think, period, place, this one here. as with the previous, the 2020, no, this was the 2021 period, place, I think was here. So it, for 2021, I think the snow was more in this area here than in, this area here than in this area. So, so it 2023 definitely there's much more snow, that's for sure. And the snow was much more dispersed, wider, more locations within my region of interest than in 2021. So that's for sure. And I would guess that the snow was also much thicker. Though we don't, I mean, what we have to do is to overlay these images with one another and then look at the snow cover in 2021 and then look at the snow cover in 2023 to identify by how much was the snow more or less in 2023. So we can basically do a calculation, subtract the two images from one another. And that's maybe what we can do in a future video, is to determine how much more or less snow was there in 2023 than in 2021. So we can potentially look at those numbers. I would like to download the stats, the data as well, to have a look, and we'll do that. And then there's something that we call the normalized difference snow index, and we're going to play around with that one as well. So there's still quite a bit of things that we can do, and what we're going to do with this data. But yeah, so it does seem that there's general alignment or agreement, if you want to, between all these data products in terms of snow and the characteristics associated with that location, specifically terrain characteristics and climatic characteristics for that snow. Now, so unfortunately, the climate data product don't have data for 2023. So we cannot measure the temperatures now for these locations. We can go only up to 2022, but we can go back, because remember, these products are from 2000. So we'll do point layers for each of these locations which had snow, and then we will calculate, or we will then generate a time series data in terms of all the characteristics, terrain and stuff. So we're going to create quite a significant Excel spreadsheet, and then we'll do some work on that. But so as we go along, the mind starts thinking, and we start generating some interesting ideas in terms of what we can do. But who would have thought snow could be so interesting? And that's the beauty of remote sensing. It's a never-ending story, so to speak. Sorry, the pun. But yeah, it just goes on and on and on. And the journey, that's why I'm saying the journey will most probably not end, because I'm sure as we speak, there's more and more data products that's coming online, and therefore much more that we can do. Enough blubbering for me for this video tutorial. I think this is quite neat. And obviously what we can do now is, let's say, okay, obviously we can play around with the visualization parameters. Okay. But let's do this. I'm going to decrease this one, and let's say apply. Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. Voila, look at that. And look at that. Now we overlay our images. Okay, that's quite neat. Let's custom it, stretch it. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, as I said, there's so much we can do with this. There's really so much we can do with this. Let's go. I'm just choosing one or two of them that we can play around. That's no good. We'll go back to we'll go back to stage. Well, let's do this one quickly. Stage 3. See what that looks like. No. 90%. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. But anyway, I think you get the idea. Now, obviously, we can play around with the bands as well. So let's say 2, 3, 4 false color. And custom and apply. So we can play around with that as well. But now it's okay. So that's interesting by itself. So that's a dark color. So the white obviously is that. Anyway, I think you get the idea. Is that we can, so 3, 4, and 5. Apply. It doesn't. Okay, so that doesn't look too appetizing. So let's go back to our true colors, which is 4, 3, and 2. We go apply. Here's our B3. Okay, so because it's got that, so let's quickly just run it again. Yeah, I think you guys are getting the idea that what we want to try to do here is again optimize our images, and specifically optimizing our Sentinel daytime images with our snow cover, and to create a visual daytime or visual picture of locations that receive snow, which are these locations here. Okay, and it aligns perfectly with all our other data products, all our data images. So we're starting to create a holistic picture, and that's quite neat. That's quite interesting. Anyway, okay, so let's pause it for our journey in remote sensing for now. Let's quickly give it a little pause. Sorry, let me quickly go and inspect that. Let's have a look and see what the, if we go to our bands, you can see there's the spectral reflectance. Okay, so we can identify spectral reflectance for snow. So we're not just identifying terrain and climatic characteristics of snow, we're also looking at the spectral reflectance. So the spectral reflectance on band 1, which is aerosol blue, red, green, blue. I think these are shortwave infrareds. But anyway, so here is the spectral reflectance of snow. And obviously, if we go to a mountain which didn't have snow, remember that was that. So let's look at a location. Hey, come on, let's ignore this. No, ignore this. Okay, so I want to be careful now to select. You see, we selected this. Okay, so let's select. Okay, but you see, we don't know what. Okay, so let's say that specific. Okay, let's look at that area then. And so this is. Okay, so this is without snow, and this is with snow, and you can see the difference in spectral difference. Look at band 1, the aerosol 0.02. This is 0.5. So there's a big difference between the spectral aerosol. Look at the red. The red is 0.028, and this is 0.5. So snow basically absorbs. See, this is what is reflected. So the difference between this and 1 is what is being absorbed. So here a lot of red is being absorbed. Here a lot of red is being reflected. Same with these colors. But most probably the biggest difference, band 9. Let's have a look and see. Where's band 9? 0.13. And look at band 1.36. So you can clearly see there's a huge difference in the spectral reflectance. So we can obviously use the spectral reflectance as well to identify, snow, etc. Let me pause for now, otherwise we'll continue and continue. Okay, let's pause it for now. We'll continue with this journey. I think just working on this, there's a number of ideas that came to mind in terms of what we can do as we go along. But I think the next one we'll focus on is the normalized difference snow index. I think let's focus on that one in our next video tutorial, and then from there we'll take it maybe to the data issue to generate the stats. the physical time series data. Okay, that's it for now. Remember to please like, subscribe, please, and share the video. You guys know how these things work, how YouTube and all these things work. And thanks for joining me on this journey. I really appreciate your company. I value your company, and please, welcome to send me comments and things like that, things that we can work together. I'm more than happy to do that. And then I'll see you soon. I'll see you on the other side.